My name is Olive, and it's always a pleasure to have you on board. Now let's take a look at the details. President Paul Kagame is in Chantilly for the 2026 World Policy Conference, joining founder and chairperson of the World Policy Conference and the French Institute of International Relations, Thierry de Montbrial, and other high-level politicians and business leaders, academics, and opinion leaders for the 18th edition of the forum. The WPC is an annual gathering that convenes a carefully selected group of participants from around the world to reflect on and advance fair, respectful, and mutually beneficial frameworks for interstate relations. Friday evening, during a dinner debate, President Kagame and Thierry de Montbrial engaged in dialogue on a range of topics, including the current state of the international system, the geopolitical implications, and ongoing developments across Africa. President Kagame emphasized that complex problems cannot be solved quickly, but instead require addressing their root causes and prioritizing dialogue as the foundation for lasting solutions.
These troubles in the region and how they have been approached is one thing, because let's say the Eastern Congo problems which you alluded to, and how the administration in the United States has tried to handle that, and maybe other powers also have been involved before and maybe now partially. You see, problems cannot be addressed overnight. Crises cannot be overcome in such a short time. But there is a need to look at the root causes of everything and then give time to dialogue for people to find a win-win kind of solution.
Referring to the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, President Kagame noted that major global powers bear a significant responsibility in helping to resolve such crises.
I think things are bad and they can get worse. There's no question about that. The situation is very bad, and the big powers need to quickly find a solution. Otherwise, it generates into a bigger problem for the whole world. There's no question about it. You can see the food prices and affecting millions, hundreds of millions of people, and that will cascade into many other things and regions. There's no question about that. There is that potential of things getting worse, and for everybody. So it's not going to remain confined in that region.
Founded in 2008, the World Policy Conference aims to contribute to improving global governance, examining, discussing, and proposing constructive solutions to major regional and international challenges in a climate of trust and a spirit of tolerance. This year's meeting is being held under the theme Between Fragmentation and Interdependence, Rethinking Global Governance. Moving ahead, on Friday, 315 Rwandan police officers serving under the United Nations peacekeeping mission in the Central African Republic were awarded medals of appreciation in recognition of their dedication and commitment during the 11 months they have spent carrying out their duty of ensuring the safety of the local population. The ceremony was presided over by the Special Representative of the UN Secretary General in the Central African Republic, Bulletin, and was attended by various other officials. Ms. Rugwabiza commended the Rwandan police officers for the bravery and dedication they demonstrate in their daily work of maintaining security for the people of the Central African Republic, as well as for other activities aimed at improving their well-being. She noted that their efforts contribute to the timely and effective achievement of the United Nations objective in the country. She further stated that the medals of appreciation are a sign that the organization recognizes their selfless service and commitment despite the challenges they face. Moving ahead, a total of 1,697 officers on Friday, April 24th, completed the Basic Police Special Force course at the Counter-Terrorism Training Center in Mayanje, Bugesera district, as the Rwanda National Police continues to strengthen its security capacity and professionalism. The officers of Intake 04/2026 include 38 from the Rwanda Correctional Services. The 3-month training equips officers with advanced tactical skills to effectively respond to evolving security threats and ensure the safety of people and property. Presiding over the pass out, the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Commissioner of Police Vincent Sano, urged the graduates to uphold discipline and professionalism in their future duties. He further emphasized their responsibility to safeguard national security, and the training program also equipped participants with a wide range of specialized skills, including weapons, handling and shooting, combat drills, public order management, tactical obstacle navigation, and planning and executing specialized police operations. The IGP Sano stressed that ensuring public safety requires continuous training, dedication, and resilience. Tomorrow news at the La Corniche main border post in Rubavu district, 329 Rwandans returning from the Democratic Republic of the Congo were received back into the country today. The returnees, most of them women and children, say that some have not yet come back because their husbands are being held hostage by armed groups in different parts of the country. Since the beginning of 2026, more than 2,400 Rwandans have returned to Rwanda from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now to agricultural matters. The National Agriculture Export Development Board says Rwanda's coffee continues to rank among the finest in the world thanks to the dedication and hard work of coffee farmers and processors across the country. We have details. Across the country, wherever coffee is grown, people consider it as gold. They say it becomes even more valuable when they hear that the coffee they produce has outperformed others internationally, as this motivates them to continue preserving its quality.
When Rwandan coffee performs well internationally, it gives us both responsibility and happiness. It gives us strength because it also increases profit due to growing demand on the international market. This motivates us to work harder to maintain the quality and to do even better, both in quality and productivity. When planting coffee, you do not work alone. As productivity increases, the number of workers also increases, and they also gain financially. That is why I call it a crop that helps many people develop, both the owner of the plantation and the workers as well.
These farmers also confirm that as the quality of their coffee improves, so do the benefits and profits they receive.
It is a crop that has strengthened me because whatever I have achieved, coffee has played a great role in it. I have 6 vehicles that are in business, and I plan to buy more depending on the productivity I get from coffee. In a week, I usually harvest 4 tons, but I plan that in the next harvest I will get 6 tons per week. I believe that in the coming days my life will fully depend on coffee farming.
At the end of last year, coffee from Huye district processed at K Organics washing station ranked first by outperforming others in the Best of Rwanda 2025 competition. It was sold at $88 per kilogram. It also represented Rwanda in the recent competition held in San Diego in the United States of America, where it competed against 48 other coffees and still ranked among the top 5 best coffees in the world. Inyas Ndahindurwa, a worker from K Organics washing station, says that being the best has brought many benefits, but it has also given them a major responsibility.
It made us happy because our own coffee that we cultivated, which was our first harvest, performed very well. We were happy with what we did, and it gave us the strength to continue expanding the project. It also showed us that we are on the right path. We participated in the competition last year, and now we are harvesting and processing the coffee. This year, we'll also participate in the competition as always so that we can measure where we are, because competition usually rates you and helps you know the level you're at. Among the goals we have is to make sure that Rwandan coffee farming continues to expand, and we have already started working on it. For example, our workers, since we have many, are being provided with quality seeds, and we encourage them to do better on their farms just as they do on ours. As they continue to improve their fields, we also show them how coffee is processed so that their coffee can grow alongside ours.
Alexis Ngurunziza, Traditional Commodities Division Manager at the National Agriculture Export Development Board, says such achievements are a source of national pride and are made possible through strong collaboration among all stakeholders in the coffee value chain.
Regarding follow-up, starting from seedlings, how they are cared for, how they are cultivated or planted, how manure is applied, how they are mulched, and every single process until they are harvested and taken to factories on time. Factories must also process coffee on time without delays, since there are specific hours that must be followed in coffee processing. Coffee should not go beyond 6 to 8 hours without being processed. There is also a proper way coffee is dried and processed in other factories, meaning that throughout the chain of activities there are protocols that must be followed. This good quality coffee, which is suitable for international markets, is also available on Rwandan markets. We would encourage people to taste it here in the country, and also encourage Rwandans to develop the habit of drinking coffee since it has many benefits for the body.
2025 was exceptional for Rwanda's coffee farming sector. The country exported 23,000 tons of coffee, generating $150 million in revenue. With an average export price of $6.2 per kilogram, earnings increased by more than 50% compared to 2024. By 2029, Rwanda aims to increase its annual coffee exports to 32,000 tons, with projected revenues exceeding $192 million. Now, the President of the Supreme Court has called on actors in the justice sector to actively contribute to the fight against genocide ideology and the prosecution of those who promote it, emphasizing that it is a criminal offense punishable under the law. The remarks were made during the commemoration of the 32nd commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. We have details.
The commemoration event took place at the Ntarama Genocide Memorial in Bugesera District. The President of the Supreme Court, together with other leaders and justice sector officials, laid wreaths at mass graves, paid tribute to those laid to rest at the memorial, and received a historical briefing on the genocide against the Tutsi in the area, including testimonies from survivors who had sought refuge there. Emmanuel Ninkunda, who currently works at the Supreme Court, survived the genocide against the Tutsi in Ntarama sector. In his testimony, he stated that the genocide against the Tutsi in Bugesera had begun as early as the 90s when Tutsi were being killed on a daily basis. During the ceremony, Muhongaire Christine, Vice President of Ibuka, called on members of the justice sector to ensure that those who promote genocide ideology are prosecuted and held accountable under the law. The President of the Supreme Court, Mukanaganzwa Domitire, stated that the commemoration should serve as a moment of remembrance, solidarity, and support for survivors of the genocide against the Tutsi. She strongly condemned individuals who, while serving in the justice system during the genocide, failed in their duty to protect rights and instead participated in their violation. She urged current justice practitioners to remain vigilant, reject and firmly combat genocide ideology, stressing that it is a punishable offense under the law. She also commended the leadership that has guided the country since the genocide was stopped. The event also paid special tribute to 98 judicial staff members working in the prosecution, courts, and legal profession who were killed during the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994.
Survivors of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi say they were not discouraged by the suffering they went through. Instead, those experiences have strengthened their determination to rebuild their lives. This was expressed on Friday during the 32nd commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi, organized by 9 business companies affiliated with the Rwanda Mountain Tea. We have details.
During the commemoration event, survivors highlighted that despite the brutality of the genocide against the Tutsi, they have drawn strength from their survival journey and the support they received over time. Jean-Maurice Gasasira, who gave a testimony during the event, described the genocide against the Tutsi as having been carried out with extreme cruelty. He noted that those who survived owed their lives largely to the intervention of the then RPA Inkotanyi forces. He expressed gratitude to the Inkotanyi for rescuing survivors and for instilling values of forgiveness, resilience, and rebuilding. Other participants emphasized that such commemoration moments help them better understand Rwanda's history and reinforce the commitment to ensuring that the tragic history of the country never happens again. Alain Kabeja, representing the 9 companies affiliated with Rwanda Mountain Tea that took part in the commemoration, stated that remembering helps prevent the recurrence of the genocide and serves as a reminder of Rwanda's progress in rebuilding after the genocide against the Tutsi. Each year, the 9 companies associated with Rwanda Mountain Tea honor former employees who were killed during the genocide against the Tutsi, as well as all Tutsi victims, and they reaffirm their commitment to fighting genocide ideology.
Now, employees from various aviation companies in Rwanda have pledged to continue standing with survivors of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in their journey of recovery and rebuilding. They committed to supporting them in improving their livelihoods, including assisting in the renovation of deteriorated houses. We have details.
As part of the commemoration activities, staff from aviation companies visited the Kamonyi Genocide Memorial before proceeding to Kigali International Airport in Kanombe. Anakle Iradukunda, a genocide survivor who was 6 years old in 1994, shared that the history of the genocide against the Tutsi is difficult for younger generations to fully comprehend. However, he emphasized the importance of appreciating the country's progress under good leadership and expressed pride in working for an institution such as Rwanda Air. The managing director of Rwanda Airports Company, Charles Habonimana, encouraged genocide survivors to embrace life and continue their efforts towards self-rebuilding and resilience. The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Infrastructure, Kenneth Manishimwe, called on professionals in the air transport sector to uphold professionalism and excellence in service delivery, stating that this is one of the ways to restore dignity to those who were killed during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. During the commemoration, aviation companies operating in Rwanda, in collaboration with the Buka, reaffirmed their commitment to supporting survivors in Kamonyi district. They pledged to assist in the renovation of damaged houses as part of their continued efforts to support survivors in rebuilding their lives.
Survivors of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Kicukiro district say that the presence of the former head of state and the military camp in the area played a significant role in the planning and execution of the genocide, which led to the complete extermination of many families in the district. William Evans has the report.
During an event held in Nyarugunga to commemorate families that were entirely wiped out during the genocide against the Tutsi, survivors stated that the presence of former President Juvenal Habyarimana and Colonel Theoneste Bagosora in the area, as well as the existence of a military camp, contributed to the rapid escalation of violence against Tutsi civilians starting on the night of April 6, 1994. Felix Kabandana, representing Ibuka in Kicukiro district, noted that remembering families that were completely wiped out is a way of restoring dignity to those who were killed during the genocide against the Tutsi. He also noted that it is an opportunity to honor the Rwandan Patriotic Army, RPA Inkotanyi forces that stopped the genocide. The Vice Mayor in charge of urbanization and infrastructure urged young people to learn Rwanda's history and actively fight those who use social media to deny or distort the genocide against the Tutsi. Statistics indicate that more than 800 families were completely wiped out in Kicukiro district during the genocide. However, research efforts are ongoing to identify all victims so that they may be commemorated by name.
During the 32nd commemoration of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, the Minister of Education called on students at the Rwanda Polytechnic Institution to pursue knowledge that is grounded in humanity and to use their skills for the good of Rwanda rather than being influenced by genocide ideology and hate narratives that continue to be spread by individuals with malicious intent. William Evans continues.
The commemoration event took place at the former Etochi Chichiro, now part of Rwanda Polytechnic. It was the site of tragic events during the genocide against the Tutsi in 1994, where United Nations peacekeepers abandoned thousands of Tutsi who had sought refuge there, leaving them vulnerable to Interahamwe militia and exposing them to the inhuman conditions, including starvation, as recounted by survivor Ntaganira Albert. The Vice-Chancellor of Rwanda Polytechnic, Sylvie Mucho, reminded students that those who participated in and planned the genocide against the Tutsi were educated individuals but lacked humanity. She encouraged students to learn from this history and carry on their duties professionally as they contribute to building the Rwanda they aspire to. The Minister of Education, Joseph Nsengimana, noted that students are the future of Rwanda and should strive to act in the best interests of the nation. He urged them to reject divisionism and hate ideology, including genocide denial and distortion, which continues to appear on social media platforms. Students at Rwanda Polytechnic said that commemoration activities provide them with lessons that help them distance themselves from evil, emphasizing that education alone is not sufficient without a sound moral conscience. Historically, during the genocide against the Tutsi, more than 3,000 people, including teachers and students, had taken refuge at Etoki Chichiro, which was then under UN protection before being abandoned by peacekeepers, mostly belligerent troops. Many of those who fled were later killed in Nyanza of Kichichiro, with fewer than 100 survivors.
The Ministry of Health and its affiliated institutions, in collaboration with the Catholic Diocese of Kabgayi, organized on Friday a commemoration event marking the 32nd commemoration of the genocide against the Tutsi. During the event, strong condemnation was once again directed at medical personnel and religious leaders who, despite their duty to protect and preserve life, participated in the atrocities that happened in 1994. We have details.
The commemoration took place at Kabgayi Genocide Memorial in Muhanga District, where staff from the Ministry of Health, its affiliated institutions, and members of the Catholic Diocese of Kabgayi gathered to honor the victims of the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. Kambogo Imakli, a survivor of the genocide against the Tutsi in Kabgayi, recounted the difficult conditions experienced by those who sought refuge in various institutions on Kabgayi Hill, including those who took shelter in hospitals. Reverend Father Nivuguruzwa of the Kabgayi Diocese noted that during the genocide against the Tutsi, some staff members of the diocese working in the health care and other services were brutally killed. He emphasized that commemoration is also an opportunity for reflection and self-examination. Meanwhile, the Minister of Health, Dr. Saben Senzimana, stated that the gathering of health sector professionals in commemoration is an important moment to condemn those who, while working with the health sector, participated in the genocide and to honor those who dedicated themselves to saving lives. The Kabgayi Genocide Memorial is a resting place of more than 12,000 victims of the genocide against the Tutsi. During the genocide, Kabgayi had sheltered more than 50,000 people.
Now this brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin, and we thank you for being with us throughout the bulletin. We wish you a restful weekend. Good night.